Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing my updated 2022 governor elections prediction map. So first things first, Democrats have 5 non-contested seats going into this election. Republicans have 7. So a lot of seats up, a lot of governorships up, and I'm going to start off with the seats that I think are safe for both respective parties. First things first is I think the state of California starts off as safe. The recall election didn't work against Gavin Newsom, so I don't see why the same result would not happen again. I think over 15% it will go for Gavin Newsom. So I think Newsom will win in California. I think Republicans will win in Idaho and Wyoming. They'll both be safe. Hawaii, I believe the incumbent governor is retiring, so he's ineligible to run again. I think that will be safe. Let's see. South Dakota, Kristi Noem, her popularity has improved a lot since when she was first elected. I think that will be safe. Nebraska, I think, will also be safe. Kansas will not be. Kansas will be coming back to. Oklahoma will be safe. Arkansas, I fully expect Sarah Huckabee Sanders to win this race. That will most likely be in the safe column. The state of Tennessee, I think, would be safe. Alabama will be safe. South Carolina will be safe. Illinois, I'm tempted to put in the safe column, but I actually think due to the national environment in 2022, Pritzker may win, but not in a margin of 15 points or more. So it's going to be, I'm actually going to come back to it. The state of Virginia, we know that went red for Glenn Youngkin, and the state of New Jersey went blue for Phil Murphy. So we know how those are going to go. I'm trying to think any more safe states over here. This looks good. The state of New York, I think, will go safe. Democrat. The state of Maryland. Maryland will be, I think, will definitely be a Democratic flip. I'm not sure if it'll be safe. Rhode Island, I think, will be safe. Massachusetts. Charlie Baker retiring, likely to be a Democratic flip. We haven't heard if Maura Healey's going to run yet, but if she does, I expect her to win pretty big. Jeff Deal, the Republican, already endorsed by Trump, is probably going to hurt him in the state of Massachusetts. Probably goes over 15 points. So Massachusetts may be a safe Democratic seat, although, as we know, elections can be very, very interesting, so we'll have to wait and see, but probably in the safe column for now. And I think that'll do it for all the safe seats, with Democrats having 11 and Republicans having 17. Next, the likely seats. Oregon starts off as a likely Democratic seat. The state of Colorado with Jared Polis, I think that'll just barely be likely. I think that race will be a little closer than some people may expect. The state of Alaska with Dunleavy, I think he'll be in the likely column as well. The state of Texas, Greg Abbott versus Beto O'Rourke. Not that I don't think the race is going to be closer than expected, but I think it'll probably be about 7-8 point margin or so. Maybe not the biggest margin when you consider some of Beto's comments that he made while he was running for president, but I still think it'll be a close competitive race. So Texas will go into likely Republican. Illinois, like I said, I think will go likely Democrat for Pritzker. And right now, Iowa, it's going to be closer, but I'm going to put Iowa in the likely Republican column. Ohio, Mike DeWine, or I'm blanking on his name, Jim Renassi. Either one of them, I think, will probably win Ohio somewhere in a likely margin or so. But yeah, for now, Ohio and Iowa both in likely. Kansas, borderline, likely to lean. Probably going to come back to that one. But Connecticut, will be likely. Maryland will be likely as well. The state of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu. Probably could have put this one in safe, to be honest. But, I don't know if the Democrats have a strong candidate yet in the state of New Hampshire, so could put it in likely, could put it in safe. For now, I'm going, New Hampshire goes safe. Phil Scott in Vermont. I want to put in likely, but could also be safe as well. I'm going to say likely for now. But New Hampshire, I think, probably goes safe after thinking about it some more. Because I was going to put New Hampshire in likely, but the Democrats haven't announced who their candidate's going to be yet in the state of New Hampshire. Maine will not be likely. I think this is it for all the likely states for now. Just looking around the map. Yeah, I think this is it for likely. Okay. The remaining seats, I think, are going to be in a margin of about 5 points or so. And that's going to start off with the state of Minnesota, which just barely squeaks into the lean column. I think Tim Walz is in pretty good standing for re-election in Minnesota, and I think he will win re-election by about 4 to 5%. The state of New Mexico as well. Mark Ronchetti, being the Republican candidate, could potentially make this race closer, which is why I have it in the lean column of about 5%. So New Mexico goes in the lean Democratic column. Kansas, Laura Kelly, the Democratic governor, I do think she's going to lose in this election due to the Republican national environment. Has really not much to do about her because she's actually pretty well approved of for a Democratic governor in the Republican state of Kansas, but I do think she'll not be able to hold on. Republicans will win by about 4 or 5%. And now we move to the state of Maine, where I think Janet Mills, the governor of Maine, she's having some popularity issues in the state, but I still think she'll be able to hold on by about 4 to 5%. Mainly this having to do with Maine being a ranked choice voting state. I don't think that Paul LePage, who, while he was the former governor and he did win twice, he also won with a plurality of vote in each time. And with ranked choice voting, I don't think he'll be able to do that this time around. Will be a close race, but I don't think he'll be able to win. Close race, but Janet Mills, I think, will win. Now we have Ron DeSantis down in Florida, which is narrowly in the lean column by about 5% right now. Elections can be very polarized, so it's why I put Florida in the lean column, but I could definitely see myself moving this up to the likely column as we get closer and closer to Election Day. And I think that's going to do it for now for the lean column. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for now. So Democrats have 19, Republicans have 25. These 5 remaining seats are very, I have 6, excuse me, these 6 remaining seats are very, very close. And I want to start off with the state of Nevada, where I thought when Dean Heller announced he would probably be the nominee for governor, but Joe Lombardo, the sheriff of Clark County, has been leading in a lot of recent polls in the primary, and it's very likely that he'll be the Republican nominee over Dean Heller. And I think in an election of Steve Sisolak versus Joe Lombardo is actually able to flip the state of Nevada and make this a Republican governorship pickup. Clark County is where the population is, where Las Vegas is, and to see this county sheriff performing so well in the polls, it definitely is a big potential reason that Nevada will flip in 2022. Arizona, Katie Hobbs, the Democratic Secretary of State, will likely go up against Kari Lake. I believe she's a former TV anchor and already endorsed by former President Donald Trump. Kari Lake has already had some scandals against her, which could potentially hurt her. But, 2022 is supposed to be a Republican wave year. It's supposed to help out a lot of Republicans down ballot. So I'm tempted to give this race to Katie Hobbs, the Democrat, but for now, I'm putting Arizona in the tilt Republican column by the thinnest of margins just because of the national environment. But not good for Kari Lake to already start off with some potential campaign problems. The state of Wisconsin, Tony Evers going up against, I believe her name was Rebecca Cleafish, I believe her name was. She was the lieutenant governor for Scott Walker. Or Jonathan Wickman is another candidate as well. He's kind of the outsider candidate, I believe. I think right now, Cleafish, I believe her name is the most likely one to win the primary. I haven't really seen any new polls out of there yet, but Tony Evers is in trouble in this race. He's not been polling so well. He beat Scott Walker in 2018 by a very, very thin margin in a strong Democratic turnout year. I do think Tony Evers is in some trouble, and I think Republicans are able to flip this governor's seat and win this race. The state of Michigan, right next to Wisconsin, Gretchen Whitmer likely going up against former police chief James Craig. Gretchen Whitmer has been in trouble for a long time, and I think this race is going to continue and narrowly flip to the Republican side. She won big in 2018 following unpopular Governor Rick Snyder retiring, and I think Gretchen Whitmer is just barely running out of time to fix her approval rating. I don't think she's going to be able to hold on. James Craig's going to narrowly win this race. Pennsylvania, Democratic Attorney General Josh Shapiro likely going up against former Republican Representative Lou Barletta and 2018 Senate candidate. He was endorsed by Trump back in 2018. For now, I'd expect him to happen again. Pennsylvania is going to be very close on the Senate race and the governor's race margin. But the governor's race, I think, will actually be a little bit of a bigger margin than the Senate race. I do think Lou Barletta will win this race, and he will be the next governor of Pennsylvania. The Senate race, John Fetterman versus potentially Dr. Oz, may be a different story. Still waiting to see what happens on that race. The last state I'm going to go over is, in my opinion, the closest governor's seat in the country, the state of Georgia. Stacey Abrams on the Democrat side versus either Brian Kemp or David Perdue. This is going to be very, very interesting because if Brian Kemp is the nominee, a lot of Republicans loyal to the former president are going to stay home and not vote. If the nominee is David Perdue may have the support of a lot of Trump supporters, but he also just lost his Senate race not even 2 years ago. So who knows how this governor's race is going to go. It's going to be very, very close. Stacey Abrams will turn out a ton of Democratic voters. She will also turn out a ton of Republican voters as well. This one is very, very close. I can see it being tilt Republican. I can see it being tilt Democrat. I really can. But for now, in a 2022 wave year, I'm going to put it in the tilt Republican column with David Perdue defeating Stacey Abrams, but this one's going to be a nail-biter and really can go either way. Definitely one to keep an eye on. So with this, I have Republicans doing very, very well, winning 31 governorships, and Democrats winning 19. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment below, tell me what you thought, and I'll see you in the next video.